Soil is called.
My name's Josh Dolan. I work for Finger Lakes Eat Smart New York, and I work at Cornell Cooperative Extension in Tompkins County. I cover an 11-county region of the Finger Lakes. I do a lot of garden-based programming, garden-based education with youth, garden development for community and school gardens, a lot of organizing within communities to strategize and then plan and execute garden plans, and then linking those gardens with nutrition educators. I think a lot of the communities that I work within were interested in community and school gardens because of economic reasons. And with those economic reasons also come health consequences for low-income communities. So just because people are getting enough calories doesn't mean they're the right calories. Community gardens and school gardens have been really instrumental in addressing food security issues and also educating folks about the value of eating fresh fruits and vegetables. I know as a parent myself, it can be really challenging to feel like you're doing a good job at getting good food on the table at home. So even those small successes that I see with the folks that I work with can be really inspiring, because gardening, it's one of those kind of foundational skills that has a ripple effect into the rest of your life. This year I've had the opportunity to work with two schools, one in a more rural setting in Newfield down in Tompkins County, and another in Rochester in Monroe County called Roberto Clemente. And both of these schools, although they face many different challenges, both have the common theme of food insecurity. They're both located within food deserts, one in an urban area, one in a rural area.
Are you excited to plant all those seeds? My name is Michelle Mentor, and I work at Newfield as the wellness coordinator for the Healthy Living Committee. When you want to buy food in Newfield, you basically can choose from a convenience store that offers pizza or a different convenience store that offers gas and pizza. The other thing that's happening in Newfield, we don't have backyard gardens anymore. Most of the people who are living in Newfield commute to work, come home, aren't earning that much money, and don't have stuff that they can pull from their garden to add into the meal. So we're hoping to be raising up the next generation of gardeners. When we're trying to do wellness education for children, it really needs to be hands-on for the information to be fun. So getting your hands in the dirt and sticking a cherry tomato in your mouth, those are fun things that directly create a I like gardening or I like fresh foods experience, which is what we're going for. So it was like the simplest path to encouraging health and wellness in kids. Students are involved in garden design, planting, harvesting, maintenance. So yeah, they're kind of involved in every single aspect. When we're out talking about lettuce or pulling up carrots, we're talking about how it's good for you and what vitamins are there, and we're talking about the texture and the taste, and it's just making eating crunchy, fresh vegetables fun. Kids will get turned on to lettuce or cabbage or something, and they'll go home and tell their parents that they love cabbage now, and they'll ask their mom or dad to purchase that, bring it home and cook it for them, and so then the kids are exposing their parents to new vegetables. It's not only physically good, but it's also good emotionally. It's good like you're working in a team, you're working next to other kids, your hands are in the dirt. It's creating this appreciation for nature that is deep and profound and hopefully lasting.
My name is Joshua Cornu. I'm a teacher here at Roberto Clemente, school number 8 in the Rochester City School District. And my goal this year was to develop a school garden with our Garden Guru group as an opportunity for our students to really see where their food comes from, to learn about the growing process and learn about plant life in general. It provides a lot of scientific content. We've been able to experiment with different growing conditions, and we've also talked a lot about the microbiology of the soil and how good farmers actually grow good soil, and that good soil leads to good plants. We also learned about the microbiology of those microbes and how they can have a positive influence on our mood. And any gardener who spends any time out in the dirt will tell you that it's often a happy place for them. So we've been able to share that experience with our students. When students are involved in the growing process, the food definitely tastes better to them and they're more excited to eat it. We've found this year that when students are exposed to fresh vegetables, they really are more apt to try them. I also have a number of students who tell me about gardens that they've started at their own homes with their parents, using things that they've learned in gardening and bringing them home to their families, which is pretty powerful.
My name is Andrew Battles. I teach earth science and environmental science here at Newfield High School. In the gardens, at the younger grades, I think a lot of the time students are really excited to get in there and get their hands dirty and get working in the garden. And sometimes at the high school level, it's sort of a mixed bag. You have some kids that are really into getting into the garden and working, and other kids that are not really as into getting into the garden and working. But a lot of the time what I've seen is that those students that are working really well in the garden and like that kind of work, those kids end up getting really engaged in the content in the classroom, where, you know, they might see something on the news that we talked about in class, and they might bring that in and say, oh, I saw this on the news. And so they end up getting really more interested in environmental issues, I think, even if it doesn't translate to their grades all the time. And I think they really do. They see the benefits of it. We talk a lot about, at the beginning of the year, especially when we're just sort of introducing what we do in the garden, we talk about poverty, we talk about the needs of the community and how many people in this community don't have access to healthy fruits and vegetables. And so I think knowing the impact that this can have on the community helps them all to sort of like recognize this is something important that we're doing, even if they're not super excited about pulling weeds or something like that.
So one of the difficulties of a school garden is that in the summertime, when everything is ripe, the students aren't here to eat it all. So at Newfield, we have summer paid interns who are harvesting, and then we're bringing it to the Newfield Food Hub. Last year, we were able to offer 400 pounds of fresh produce, and this year we're expecting to double that.
My name is Chris Pierce. I'm going into 12th grade, and I go to Newfield. So the job I have is working in the garden project, which involves working in 3 gardens: the pool house garden, the schoolhouse garden, and the courtyard garden, of which we do a lot of harvesting and weeding, and most of that harvest goes to the food pantry. So we're growing food to help people in our community.
You know, it can be daunting trying to take on a project like this. Any time we ran into a big obstacle in any of these projects, there have been community members and staff members that have stepped up and helped to just fix them. So I think it's something that a lot of people really believe in and believe is good work to be doing, and people will help if you ask them.
So all of these garden projects are really dependent on people. And I've had the pleasure to work with several amazing people this summer. Finger Lakes Eat Smart New York is currently looking for our next round of gardens that we're going to be supporting. So we'll be adding between 10 and 15 new sites throughout our 11 county region, but especially focused on our 12 high needs communities.